Hey guys, have a fun activity for you today. We're going to go back into Adobe Illustrator and we're going to create a picture of Santa. We're going to use the pen tool and the curvature tool like we did before, and it should be fun. So go ahead and open up Illustrator, and once you have it open, let's go ahead and open the picture of Santa. So you should download that from Schoology. I got it right here. Alright, so we're going to recreate what we see here. And the thing we need to remember, there are a lot of layers, just like we did the gingerbread cookie. I know some of you didn't do it, some of you did. Those you did will understand. We're going to create layers, and you'll see there's the red part of the hat's going to be under this part, and so we need to analyze that. We also need to realize that not every shape we create is going to have a black stroke, and I'll walk you through that as we go. It makes it easier to line up. So let's go ahead and create the front part of the hat first. So I am going to create a new layer. So everything I do is on its own layer, so layer 2. I'm going to get my pen tool right there, and I always want to create my shapes with no fill. So this is your foreground color, click that, and once foreground is selected, hit this little button right here with the red lines, so no fill. Indicates no fill, black stroke, that's what we want. So I'm going to zoom into the front part of his hat. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to create points, and I'm going to go back and curve the lines with the curvature tool in a second. So for the front part of the hat, this is real easy. I'm just going to put a point there, a point there, 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 and then reconnect to the first point to complete my shape. So that is my current shape. That's what I have now. I'm going to go back after the fact with my curvature tool right there, and I'm going to bend my lines to get them as close as I can to the shape of the hat. Notice as I move my curvature tool down, it adjusts the bend, okay? So I've got that side done correctly. I'm going to go do this side as well. So I'm starting to pull this over, and that mimics that fairly well. I'm going to do the top part of the hat. And if it's not exact, don't worry about it. Just get it close. And I'm going to take this one up as well. All right, so I'm left with that. Now, I want to have, if I hide what's there, you'll see I have a pretty thin black stroke. But if I go to my properties panel and bump the size up to a size 3, I think that's pretty similar to what's there already, right? Maybe it's a 4, but let's try 4. So let me take that up to 4 in the properties. I think that's exactly what's there with Santa. Yep, so we're going to go with the size 4 stroke. And then there is no fill on this right now, indicated right there. So let's go ahead and double click that, and I'm just going to go up my top left corner right there and hit OK. That gives me a white fill, and I'm good to go. So I created that shape. Let's go ahead and show your Santa as well, because we need to determine what shape we're going to create next. I'm going to create the red part of the hat next. So I'm on layer 2. I get my pen tool. I'm just going to start up here. I can see there's a slight point, so I'm going to put it right there. It's my first anchor. And then I have to guess where it is down here because I can't see it. So I'm going to go right there, just put a point there. And I need to change this to no fill. And then I'm going to put a point, let's go right about there, because I'm looking at the curve that's over here that I'm going to have to create next. So let's right about there. Actually down a little bit. There. Go way out here and then up here. Okay? So I've created that shape. Let me hide Santa so you can see what I created. So I created that one. And if I hide that, you can see the shape that's on my screen. All right, so let me go ahead and I'm going to show Santa's hat now. And with my curvature tool, I'm going to start bending this line to mimic what was there. And I can see I put my anchor point too far down. Let me see if I can go move that. So with my pen tool, if I hold the command key, that's not letting me do it. Let me try the option key. One of these is going to allow me to move my anchor point. That's not letting me do it. But it does let me do something. That'll work. All right, so what I did is just bend it this way just a little bit. Go get my curvature tool, bend this one out. And if I get my pen tool and hold my option key, I can manipulate this anchor a little bit as well. Okay? All right, so with my pen, when I go back to my pen tool and I hold the Option key with my left hand, it allows me to create the curve in the direction I want. Let's go back to our curvature tool. We're going to take this up just a little bit, and I think that looks good. All right, so now we need to create a fill. All right, so we have the foreground selected, and when you have the foreground selected, just go get your eyedropper tool right there, and we can sample the color red, and it fills it with red. All right, so that filled it with red. We need to go back to our stroke right there, and let's click the black color swatch right there, or you can go into your blacks to get it as well. And let's go to properties, and we're going to bump this up to a size 4 like we had on the front of the hat. So there's size 4. And if I go back to my layers, I show the two objects I have already. This is what I've created. So I have the hat. Now I need to flip the order of these layers. So let me click on I'll just call that red hat. You don't have to do this. I'm doing this so you can identify what layers I'm working with. I'll call white hat front. That one. I just need to reverse the order of these two. So I'm going to click on the red hat, drag it below the white part, and I should be left with that. So if I zoom out, you can see I've done a pretty good job creating what was there, right? Looks similar. All right, so I've created that part. Now I need the ball of the hat to go over the top of the red. So let me go ahead and zoom in there and create that quickly. This should be easy. All right, grab your pen tool. I'm gonna put one there, there. I need to change my no fill. There. And should be able to create one long bend there, so let me just reconnect that. So I should be able to get this fairly close. Let me get my curvature tool and start bending these shapes out just a little bit, or these lines out just a little bit. This will come out just slightly, this will go in slightly, out, 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 in, out. All right, so I've done a pretty good job recreating what was there. Let's go ahead and I'm just gonna hit this button to give it a fill color. And we need to adjust the stroke as well. So go properties, let's take this up to a size 4. And if I zoom out, and collapse that, let me go to layers and hide my original Santa. This is what I have so far. All right, I think it's looking pretty good. All right, so we have the hat created. Let's go create the beige part of his face. So I'm going to get my pen tool. Now this time I'm going to have no fill. So no fill. I'm going to start off with a black stroke so I can see where it is. Then I'm not going to, actually we're going to do it this way because I want you to understand. We're going to create the curve that you see with the white part right there. So we're just going to create a shape that's going to be covered up by the other details. So let's just go put a point there, 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 and there. And you've created that shape. All right, we're going to go to the stroke, give it no stroke, the fill color, select the fill, get your eyedropper, and just sample that color from the original Santa. Now, we're not curving this shape at all, okay, because this is going to be covered up by other details. So I'm going to go ahead and let's call it face background, so BG. And I'm going to drop that below the red hat, okay? So now, if I hide Santa, you can see I just have that color sitting there. I'm going to create other shapes to create the detail. All right, so let's show Santa's face. I'm actually going to hide the beige that's there, or the face background, because I'm going to create this shape right there. Now, what I need to understand here is this curve's important, this curve's important, but what's up here is not, because it's going to be covered by the hat, and what is down here is not going to be important because it's going to be covered by the mustache. So let me zoom in. So when I understand that principle, I'm reset this to black and white, and foreground's going to be no fill. Okay, so I need to just focus on that curve right there. So with my pen tool, I'm just going to put a point at there. Point, and this is where I'm making just guesses as to where they're going to be. There, 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 and there. Okay. Now the only two curves I'm concerned with is that one and that one. So let me get my curvature tool. I'm going to bend this one out right about there. Right about there. I need to move this one up a little bit. So going back to my pen tool, holding the Option key with my left hand, and I'm grabbing this anchor point and I'm moving it just that way slightly, and it gives me that curve. I could do the same thing with this one too. And just move that out slightly. It's not going to matter because anybody viewing your artwork is not going to know the slight variations between your picture and the one you're using to trace. All right, so I have that. I want to have the stroke black, and let's go adjust the properties up to size 4. So take that up to 4. That's what you're left with. Now we just simply need to give it a fill. So go to your fill, right? Just hit the foreground, background, reset right there. All right, it gives it a white fill. That's the stroke. Let's go back to our layers panel, and I'm going to hide the Santa layer that's there. I'm going to show the face layer. All right, and we can see I need to adjust the. Let me back here. Why am I seeing the face through that? Does that not have a fill? Let me delete that and recreate it again. It's glitching. All right, so let me show Santa's face again. Hide this, and this time I'm just going to leave it a white fill because it glitched last time. So I'm going to go there, there, there. Okay, so there's the face. I'm going to do this, move the path out slightly, move this path in a little bit. Okay, and let's go to properties and bump that up to size 4. All right, and now on the layers panel, this is where I should be able to adjust the stacking order. Okay. All right, so let me look at the original one. I'm gonna have to go into these shapes and change the stroke size to 4. Let me do that before I move on. So I'm gonna go back to this path. I'm gonna go to properties with my pen tool. Take the stroke size to 3. Layers. Go back and do it for all the other shapes as well. Properties, stroke 3. That is 3. Looks like it bumped it all down for me, so that's good. That's kind of what I want. Let me go back into this shape right here. This is the one I'm having issues with. I need to have this part line up with this hat, so I'm gonna do that. Let me go. Got that shape selected. Select that path. Come on. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. There. Now I have a path selected. Now I should be able to get my original pen tool, hold the Option key, and move this thing in slightly. Okay. That's not what I wanted there. Let me delete this path. This one's giving me fits. Okay. I'm gonna have to put my point there. So pen tool. Let's go no fill, black stroke. Let's go there. Now let me try to bend it a little bit. That's better. the white fill, properties, let's take the stroke size to 3. That looks like it's much, much cleaner. So let me, oh, I forgot to bend this one just slightly. Get your curvature tool. There. That looks good. Let me go back to layers panel, show what I have so far, and move this underneath the hat, and I should be good to go. All right, that is what I wanted. That matches what's there. Let me hide this shape. Let me hide this shape. And now let's go ahead and create the mustache. So I'm going to put a point there, 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 and then create that curve. So let me go ahead and get my pen tool. So I'm putting it right there, there. No fill. Just a little bit. All right, so let me hide. Okay, so no fill. Let me get my curvature tool, and I'll start bending that to match. Just get it close, it doesn't have to be exact. Bend that one up just a little bit. Let's go ahead and give it a white fill. You can just reset those colors if you want. Gives it a white fill. Let's go give it a 3 pixel stroke, so bump the size up to 3. Go back to your layers and just need to adjust where it is on the layers. So it can stay right there actually for now. All right, so the mustache looks good. I click off it, and if I show everything I have on there and hide Santa, you see that's where we are in the recreation of this image. All right, so I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna create this side of Santa's face, so let me show that. And I'm gonna hide this so I can see that detail. So that piece over there gave us fits, and I'm guessing this one this one won't, because I figured I need to put a couple points there. Let me zoom in. All right, so let's go ahead and get your pen tool, and we'll start right there. And this side should be fairly easy. So there, go there, go there, no fill, there, there, and there. Okay, so I've created that shape. Hopefully, this go around, let me give myself a black stroke. Let me just, okay, so I got my black stroke. I'm getting my curvature tool. I'm going to bend this one out. This is the one that gave us fits last time. Moving it slightly there. Bend it up there to that point. Bend this out just one time. Bend this in. And I should be good. Let me reset foreground, background. That'll fill it. Let me go to my properties. Bump that up to a size 3. Click off it. I have that shape created. Doesn't match exactly, but I think it's going to look okay once I hide the original picture. So let me show that layer, hide this one, and it did. Why didn't it create my shape? Did I accidentally put it on that layer? I did. All right, so let me move this. I put it on the wrong layer. So let me click on the path and drag that up right there. Now I should be able to hide Santa's face, and that's what I got. I think it looks good. So we're getting closer. Let's go ahead and show Santa. Let's hide the beige right there. And we're gonna just go ahead and just click right on the face, the beige object. So we'll draw the nose. So let's just get our, how do we wanna do this? Let's get our shape tool right there. Let's go to lips. And let's just draw from right there. And if you hold, as you draw this, and if you don't let up on the mouse, you can hold the space bar to reposition it, and then once you let go of the space bar, then you can resize it as well. So right there, I've recreated pretty much the shape itself. I need to just adjust the color. So there's my shape. I know I'm going to reset to black and white so I get the black stroke. I'm going to go properties and go to a size 3. I'm going to go back to layers, and let me hide what I have now so I can get that same beige color. So we're going to copy the beige color, so make sure that ellipse is active. And let's go to foreground right there. Make sure that's in the front. Get your eyedropper and sample. Why didn't it sample? I should have filled this with beige. Maybe I need to select it, that's why. Now do it. Sample it. That's what I didn't do. Alright, it looks like it resized my stroke again, so go back to properties, bump that up to 3, click off it, and you're good to go. So you've recreated that, go to your layers, hide the original Santa, and that's what you have so far. Actually, this is what you have so far if you show it. Alright, let me go create the details for the eyes, and we're going to use the ellipse tool for that as well. Let's go up all the way up where that ellipse is for the nose. Get your shape tool, and we're going to reset this foreground to black and white because those are the colors we're going to use for the ellipse in the background right there. So I'm going to go up there, create my ellipse, and I'm not letting up on the mouse yet. I'm repositioning this thing. That looks good right there. So I've created that. White fill, black stroke. Let's go to properties, bump our stroke size up to 3. And you have the background of that eye created. All right, so go ahead, go back to your layers. Let's hide that one. Hide the ellipse you just created for the background of the eye because you need to make the black pupil. So we're going back to our ellipse. This time we're going to give it a double click there for the color. We're going to give it a black fill. And we are going to draw that shape right there. So I'm going to go right about there. Start creating an ellipse and use my space bar to reposition it. And if I click off it, I've created that ellipse. And if I hide the original Santa and show the previous ellipse, that's what I have created so far. So this is what I have so far. Let's keep going. I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to hide the base so I can see the original Santa layer. And I need to create that eye as well. We're going to do it the same way. So get your ellipse tool. Reset this to foreground of white, stroke of black, and I'm up where I need to be. Go ahead and recreate that eye. Remember, use your space bar to reposition this thing. Oops, just a tad. Alright, so that's what I have. Go to your properties, take your stroke up to 3. You got that. Layers, hide what you just created so you can recreate that pupil. So get the ellipse tool, give yourself a fill of black, so go to the foreground, choose black, okay. And we're going to go up here. So I recreated that ellipse right there. Hopefully it looks alright. You got that. Let's show everything that's there and hide your original Santa layer. Okay, so that's what you've created so far. Now we're getting close. We need to create the beard and just the mouth. So let's show, we can leave all that showing now. We need to create this outside shape for the beard, which should be very, very easy. Get your pen tool and position it right about, we don't want to be on this layer. Let me go. It's got to be below the mustache, wherever the mustache is. Let's put this just above the face. So click the face background right there, and we're going to put a point, anchor point up here, and then we're going to go to this corner, and now we're just, whoops, no fill. No fill. Let me just reset to black and white, and then no fill right there. So we're just hitting the points right here. here I think I need to create two. Now I'm going to put anchor point right about there, and then anchor point right about there, and then you can just go right here to this direction because it's not going to matter. All right, so you have that. Get your curvature tool. Let's bend this thing to mimic what's already there. So I got that. Taking this one out, got that. There, that looks good. Let's fill it with reset black and white. So fill with white, stroke of black. Go to your properties. Let's take these size up to 3. All right, so we have that. Let's go to our layer panel. And where did it put this shape? Oh, it put it up there, even though I had it down there. So let me go ahead and pull that down just above where the face background color is, right there. And if I hide the Santa that's there, that's what we have so far. The one thing I did screw up is this. I shouldn't be able to see that. So let's see if I can just correct it by dropping it below that layer. That corrects it. That's fine. So just drop it below the face background to cover that part of the shape up. All right, let's go ahead and show the original Santa and hide the beard we just created because we need to create this mouth. So we're almost done, folks. Grab your pen tool. Let's give it reset to black and white and put no fill to start with. We're going to put a spot there, a point there, right about there, there. All right, so that's going to create the black part of the mouth. So get your curvature tool. We're going to just bend that slightly, take that one down. Yeah, it's fine. And let's reset let's give it a black fill. So click out right there, the fill color. Let's go to black, hit OK. We've got the black part of the mouth. That's what we want. Where did it put it? It's up top. That needs to come down below the mustache. So let's drag that down below the mustache. And that's good there. And now let's just create the red part of the mouth. So if I hide that part of the mouth I just created, I can see what's there. So let me reset my foreground to black stroke, white fill. And let's give it no fill to start with, and we're just going to create that. So I'm going to go pen tool, I'm going there, there, and I've created that shape. Now, we're not going to have a stroke on this, so let's click on your stroke and choose no stroke right there. Go back to your fill. And the fill color, we're going to, as long as it's selected and you got the fill right there, just get your eyedropper and sample the red from there. It's going to put that red in. And then get your curvature tool and just bend this thing out just a little bit, okay? Bend that down. And this one goes that way. Okay, we have that. It was supposed to be no stroke. Why is it? Let me select that. Select this. There's supposed to be no stroke. So let me go stroke and change it to no stroke again. So I have the red. I need to put it up a little higher. My layer panel needs to go right above the black part of the mouth. So let me drag that up just above the black part of the mouth. I'm going to show the black part of the mouth. I have all my objects showing, including the beard, and I'm going to hide the Santa. And if I zoom out, this is what I've created, tracing the Santa that was there. So it looks fairly similar to what we had. I'm happy with that. Hope you guys had fun. Go ahead and just save this as Santa. Take care.